brothers. So what he's bringing out to you is that the Jews that you learned that were Jews are not.
I believe that.
Yes. It's what we were told, but it's not what the Bible says.
Right.
The Bible describes the Jews as looking like us.
That's right.
Looking just like us. Now, here's the thing. Since we were scattered, right, the officer is bringing it out. We've been scattered to the four corners of the earth, right, according to the Bible. Give me Deuteronomy 4:27 real quick. Deuteronomy 4:27. Because you guys, now, what do you call yourselves? Because the interesting thing about Africa is that you tend to know who your forefather is. So you called yourself a Cushite, right? Who does Cush come from? Does Cush come from Jacob, or does Cush come from someone else? And Cush was actually there long before Jacob. But who does Cush come from?
No, Cush is actually totally themselves from my understanding, because there wasn't Israel. This is way down in Africa.
Right.
So
Cush is the brother of the Canaanites before the land was called Israel.
Yes.
Read.
I can go with that. I'm not sure, but like.
Okay. We'll show it to you. We'll show it to you. How about that? Read that first.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 27. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations.
So God promised, he prophesied, gave in the mouth of the prophets, that these children, these 12 tribes, would be scattered where?
Among the nations.
So when it says among the nations, it means among all of the nations that we were looking at on that map. From one end of the earth even unto the other. Read.
And ye shall be left few in number among the heathen.
It said, ye shall be left few in number. So you remember the scripture at the bottom of here, Isaiah 11, few in number is how you equate to the remnant. Meaning there's going to be a small bit of Israel everywhere, scattered throughout the entire earth. And that's who Christ is coming back to save. But what Officer was bringing out is that since we are scattered through the lands, what you guys are taught, I was taught that at a younger age. That you can tell the Sudanese because they dark as me, but they're usually really tall. Well, the difference is that I meet people in Nigeria that are really tall that are not as dark as me. I meet people in Senegal that are as dark as you that are shorter than you. I meet people in Chad, dark as you, shorter than you. I can go to South Africa, dark as you, shorter than you. But some of them will say that their ancestors were Cush and that they traveled down at one point in time.
Even in their book history,
yes.
So I agree with you right now.
Yeah, and they do. And so that happened. Now there's a reason that happened though. And what we're trying to do is show you that biblically, we can't look at you and tell whether or not you're our people or whether or not you are the children of Cush. Because you have many of us that are Israel that are not calling ourselves Jews today. We're calling ourselves other things. We're calling ourselves Americans. We're calling ourselves Spaniards. We're calling ourselves Puerto Ricans. Because the curse that we read in Deuteronomy 28, you got that? All right, give me Deuteronomy 28. Scratch that. Deuteronomy 28, verse number 36. 36 and 37, the bywords. I'm going to try to tie all of this together. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I've been in Israel. I live in Israel.
Okay.
There's another group, they're called Israelites.
Yes.
But they're not tribe of Judah. I believe they are Benjamin.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
India here.
No, that's West Indies. This is the West Indian black. West Indies, because the Caribbean islands are called the West Indies, not West India. They're called the West Indies. Now you ended up with some East Indians that went there, right? You have East Indians that are in the Caribbean. They run things. They own land. They are basically the masters of the West Indies. But the children of Benjamin were taken there as slaves. They came under the name of Maroons. They're the ones that lived in the mountains, and they still were keeping the commandments of God, but falling away from the commandments of God. They understand that they were brought from the areas of Benin. They were brought from the areas of Togo. They were brought from the areas of Cameroon. So they know that their people came on slave ships from those lands, and they now call themselves West Indians.
But the one I'm telling you, they were in America, they back in Israel.
Right.
So those are different?
No, if they're calling themselves Israelites,
Yeah.
then there's many of us who left here during the time. There was a man named Ben Ami. Ben Ami left. He went to Israel to get some land. He wanted to reestablish our people in Israel. He tried to reestablish himself, and then they took him through a series of changes. Those people are still there today.
Yes.
They don't claim that they are necessarily Judah. They claim, you know, a bunch of other stuff. So Benjamin is one of the things, but they don't necessarily claim that they're Judah.
Yes, yes.
Now, there's a thing about Judah, though. Judah includes these three tribes because Judah was a land also. So not only is it the head tribe that Christ came from, it's also these three tribes together in one land. It is the southern kingdom of Israel. So when you look here, the southern kingdom is talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. These are the Jews.
Right.
When you look at the northern kingdom, they will call Israel, and that's when you go from Ephraim all the way down to the rest. So the people of Yoruba land, the Yoruba are from Ephraim to Issachar, the northern kingdom. The Igbo people, however, are southern kingdom. They would be Jews. You understand that?
He's getting it right now.
Okay. We're gonna go slow, and we're gonna dig into some of the history and the migration with your people. All right? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
So God said one of the curses against the Israelites, these people here, is they would become an astonishment. Meaning people would be astonished at the low quality of life that they lived, at the low educations that they had, at the conditions that they lived in. They would be an astonishment. Read.
A proverb.
A proverb. They say if you want to hide something from a black man, where do you put it? In a book. That's a proverb against us. How would you know that? And I know the same thing in America. Because that's what we're taught. Right? Read.
And a byword.
What is a byword, bro?
Word of God?
No, a byword is a name that someone else calls you that is not your God-given name. Or is not your actual name. So a byword. Now, here's what's interesting. The word Sudan. Where did it come from?
In my language, Su means black. Dan, the blood of black. That's
Okay.
in my own language.
Right, right.
But at the same time, when you translate, change it, Kush is the same thing, black.
Kush is black, right.
Kush is black. And Sudan is also black.
Right.
Like Su means black land.
Right. Now let me ask you, in your land, in the Sudanese people, you have two main things that you guys follow. Besides the old ancient customs before you were ever colonized, you have two main things that you follow, right?
Yes.
Give me, what is it, verse 37? Tell me if this is correct. Verse 37, give me the wood and stone. Is that 36? Yeah, 36. Read that. Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 36.
Bring up.
The Lord shall bring thee, and the king which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
So, God said that the Israelites would go into captivity by a nation that them nor their forefathers had ever known. Who conquered the land of Sudan? Who were your conquerors?
British.
Before the British.
Before the British?
I
don't know.
You know good history. You don't know who conquered you before the British. Really? It's where the word Sudan comes from. The Arabs.
The Arabs?
The Arabs.
I agree.
What is the religion of the Arab?
Islam?
Islam. What is the Arab worship?
Allah?
Allah.
Yeah.
What is the symbol of Allah? They go to it every year. They have to do a thing where they got to walk around it.
Muhammad?
No, not Muhammad.
Kaaba.
Kaaba. What is Kaaba?
Kaaba? What is Kaaba?
What does it look like?
It's like a block. I don't know what's inside, but they build like...
Right.
Yeah.
There's something that sits in that corner. It's a stone.
The stone.
The Kaaba stone. Correct? Watch this. Read that.
No.
And there shalt thou serve other gods.
It says that the children of Israel that would be scattered through all of these lands through slavery and captivity, through diaspora, would serve other gods. Let's see which gods they would serve. Read. Wood. Wood. What is the wood? The cross. The Christian cross.
Right.
What they would hang the Israelites on when they came.
That's right.
Read.
And stone.
And what?
And stone.
Who came and brought the cobblestone to Sudan?
Islam?
Islam. God said that his children would be in lands held captive, or their possessors would hold them captive, and that they would serve other gods, even wood and stone.
Right. Bring it out.
Sudan came from the Arabic word El Sudan.
Can y'all just call them?
They are the ones that gave you that word. So you did not live as a Sudanese before the Arabics came to your land.
I said we will push, let them push. Before we was like kingdom.
True. Now, all right, give me Genesis 10. Yeah, give me Genesis 10. Or Genesis 11. Is it 11? No, it's 10. It's 10. Table of Nations. Okay, so what we're trying to show you is that there is a certain set of curses only on a certain set of people. And if you resonate with the curses that are on these people, then the probability is that you are actually these people, but living under the name that your oppressor gave you.
That's right.
Our job is to come out to show our people who they are according to the Bible, what happened to them according to the Bible, and then make them remember so that they get back to keeping the customs given to these people.
Right.
One of those things that happened was the byword. Your name was changed by another people. Now, let me show you a people real quick. Genesis chapter 10. Yep.
The book of Genesis chapter 10 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut.
So, this is talking about, who is it again?
And the sons of Ham.
Now, Ham was the youngest son of Noah. Who has the Zondervan Bible Dictionary? Anybody got one? It's under here? All right. Here, let me let him get that. So, I'm going to show you real quick in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary that the people who conquered us, the so-called white man, has information that he knows who's who. The problem is that we've been given false information by these people that colonized your land. Like you said before, there were no lines that said this is Sudan, this is Egypt, they had territories, right? The people lived in them. But people moved in and out of them all the time, switching in and out. You stayed there mainly because that was the land given to your forefathers, but it wasn't mapped out the way it is today until you guys were colonized. You agree? Yeah. Okay. Read that.
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Ham, the youngest son of Noah.
So this is what we're reading in Genesis chapter 10, right? Let's see if it matches up. Go to Genesis chapter 10. Go ahead, I got you.
And the sons of Ham.
So that's what we're reading about in the Bible Dictionary, correct? All right.
The youngest son of Noah.
So he was the youngest son of Noah. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right, read.
Born probably about 96 years before the flood. And one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor.
The word progenitor means the forefather. He was the first one of this particular line of people. Read.
Of the dark races.
So he became the forefather of the dark races, right? Was everybody dark when God created the earth? Everybody was not? You got it? Yeah. Was everybody dark?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. We're going to let the Bible talk. Got that?
The book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7.
Read.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
So where was man formed from? From the dust of the ground, which is what? No. What is the dust? It's the dirt, the soil. There you go. So it said God formed man from creation of the dust of the ground. The dust of the ground is the soil. What color is soil?
Black. Brown.
Brown, black. You have some that's lighter, but the deeper you dig, what happens? The darker the soil gets. So all men from the beginning of creation were what?
All color? all brown.
We were all brown. We were
That's
all
right.
dark-skinned.
That's right.
All of us. That's from the Bible.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.